Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the House of Unconditional Love for Revelation, going within a teaching of human experience and divine connection. Taking a breath. Okay. I'm Cynthia Harrison, your Reverend or your Minister of Unconditional Love, but I'm also Simran Ishnan Kaur, which is my spiritual name, and we are doing a teaching from that space, from Simran, okay? And I've just realized my whiteboard's over there. I may draw, I may not. We'll see if I need to. But let's go along for the ride. So going within, a teaching on human experience or the human being. And there's these 4 levels of being. 4 levels of being. So in a spiritual understanding, we recognize, we recognize many levels, but these 4 levels of existence are: 1, mineral, the foundational level, right? The plant level or the growth level, the animal or the instinctual level, and 4 is the human level, the conscious level, okay? So in the teachings, if you are a student or if you've been in our community for a while, you know that number 1 is existence. I exist in time, right? Number 2, I exist in space. Number 3, I'm becoming conscious. 1, 2, 3, 4, plant, animal, mineral, plant, animal, human are the levels. And they go on, but that's what we're talking about today. So being human involves more than we typically realize, right? These 4 levels, they're going with these levels of going within, right? So in certain traditions, pretty much all traditions, we're talking in some way, shape, or form about God, light, consciousness. But when we're at level 4, right, instead of going within to our true center, our Satnam, our true identity, we scatter. We scatter. We scatter all of our energies in all directions. So you'll have to visualize this. I usually draw it when I'm teaching in depth, but today we're just going to touch on some things to see, what your interest is, right? So the 4 directions we go instead of inwards, what are they? Possibly going into or going down into pride, or going down into shame first, right? So if we see our little body sitting cross-legged and we have 4, 3, 2, and 1, right? These layers and levels that I'm speaking about are within us. They're part of us. The human experience. We're not just this physical, right? So the 4 directions, the first one, going down into shame. We descend into feelings of inferiority. Right? Nobody loves me. Nobody cares about me. And if you have been learning about attachment, injury, and trauma, these overlay. So keep that as a side note. And on Tuesday, we can talk deeper about that. Or if you're in the Ascend program, make some notes to come and ask me deeper questions, and I will explain it as best I can. Okay? So nobody wants me, nobody loves me, nobody cares about me. And we start to go into this descend. This leads to withdrawal and closing down. Okay. Do you see that in yourself at times? When something external happens and you withdraw, right? Start to close down. So this is one of the directions. The next direction is going up into pride. We ascend into superiority and judgment. Or we enter into the realm of fantasy and projection. Create separation in another way through comparison. Yeah. The next way is going out, chasing illusion, chasing Maya. Right? We seek entertainment, we seek distraction. We try to compensate for inner disconnection. So as I'm going through this, just bring it to the self and just notice, what that even means for you. Right? I'm a practical mystic. We have to bring this into everyday life. So the next piece I'll share today is around going down to humility, not shame. So we could say the right directions, right? Down even further to humility, not shame, or up further to dignity and highest self, or out to serve others, not to chase illusion, and in to the heart. And this is our focus today. Okay. So we have these, I guess you could look at that, yogis, yoginis, we will look at the karmic, dharmic aspects of the information. Yeah. So the first lot would be karmic, meaning they take you basically out of the action, or we could say the right action, for want of a better way of explaining that. But really, it's no right or wrong. It's just about, you've got a goal, this is where you're going, and you're being taken off center. Okay. So into shame, into pride, into the illusion chasing Maya and whatnot, right? So the second 4 that I mentioned, humility, dignity, service, or seva, and into the heart, right, is more along the dharmic, which is purely just your aim, right? If we look at what sin is. It's missing the mark, going off path, missing the goal, the trajectory. Okay, so karma is off that, dharma is more towards that, and that's it. We get so caught up in this. Oh, it's your karma, it's your dharma. No, are you going towards where you've chosen to go or not? Yeah. So to practice going within, finding the God within, right? Finding the God within. So there are many people who pray to Buddha, some to Jesus, or the Virgin Mary, as if they are out there somewhere. The teaching challenge is this: they're all within us. They're all within your heart right now. And I did say to my students that I was going to teach about the light today. And this is just a different aspect, so I'll have to get back to that. And maybe during the week I'll teach on the light. Because all of these deities and let's just say deities, beings, energies, show us the understanding of light. Right? It's not the sun necessarily. The sun is an aspect of the light. And the moon reflects the essence of that aspect of light that we have in this world. But there is light beyond. So let's turn back to this idea that what we're praying for out there is within. Right? So if Lord Buddha is pouring compassion on you from within your heart, and you're going outside looking, are you missing the mark? Or if Jesus is forgiving you right now from within, are you even aware of that? Or if the Virgin Mary's your gal, is she loving you intimately from within? And you're so distracted, you're missing the point. Right? You'll never find this love out there. You will never find this love out there. It's in here. It's within. It is within you. So why go within? Why go within? Who's watching? Let me get the chat up. I can't see who's here. Who's here? Can say good day to me. I can see the chat over here. Oops. And if you're watching on Insta, I've got the two Instas here as well. So if I'm looking around, that's why. So in our environment, in this current time, for all the time, before and beyond, right? But in this moment, there is interference. And some of you will say, oh, there's so much more than ever before. Maybe you weren't aware before, but I've been saying this for God knows how many years, 30 years, right? We're polluted. Even, I won't go on a tangent. I was going to tell you about, vegetables and the metals in vegetables. But, I'm a vegetarian, so I'm aware of that. But I also look at where we get our minerals and where we can support our natural health, right? So that we can be more conscious of how our body works and how we can connect to spirit. So we have a polluted mental atmosphere. We have electromagnetic interference from technology. We have satellite communications and electric cables everywhere. And where I'm living at the moment, when I go for my morning walks, I notice it so much more because they don't have as much underground cables as in Australia. All the lines in Australia, majority of Australia are underground. So you drive around, you don't see all the telephone poles and the electric lines and all of that, right? So so you forget because they still give off interference, whether you can see it or not, right? But there is one place where the divine will hear you without interference. Where do you think that might be? Or where have you experienced that? Okay. Inside your body, inside your heart. And when you send signals out, they get lost, they get distorted. And when you go within, the connection is as clear and direct. As a bell. Okay. So, remembering, going back to the beginning where I was saying, there's the 1 to 4, that's the distraction. We're going, into the shadow aspects, let's say, or the fear. Let's say fear, the fear of fear, or the fear of love, rather than just love and fear. Okay, so we could look at aspects of karma and dharma in those ways, although there's more to it than that, but I'll keep that for another day. So, do you know what the challenge is? Do you know what the problem is? The fundamental challenge is still my spiritual name, in fact, right? Forgetting. People identify numerous problems: fear, attachment, or fear of love, because fear in itself is just fear in itself, attachment, patterns, these behavioral, habitual patterns, these energetics, right? But perhaps there is one fundamental problem. What do you think that might be? Who's listening? Who's here? If you're watching the replay, you can pop it in as well, right? The one fundamental problem, I just alluded to it. Do you remember? We don't remember. So the discipline is simple. Don't forget. Okay, that's it for today. That's the discipline. It's simple. Don't forget to stay in your center. That's it. Right? So if you love something, you remember it naturally. In fact, love, and I'll go into this another day in more depth, but these are the sorts of things we talk about on Tuesdays. But if you love, really love, you have telepathy with that person. The entanglement is exponential, right? So you don't remember because you connected to that degree, right? A disciple has discipline because they love what they follow, whatever that might be, right? They love what they follow. You have telepathy and extrasensory perception in certain. Did you know that when you astral travel, for instance, when you're starting out, you usually get taken or end up in a place from your past. Why? Because you have memory there. You have memory there. It's emotion. Right? So love will take you there, will keep you connected, will help you naturally remember. Remember, bringing all the parts of yourself back together if you've been fragmented. So you could ask, really honestly ask yourself, if you choose, do I love something enough? Do I love something enough more than all the dramas and stories? Do I love that something enough beyond the stories, beyond the illusions, beyond all the distraction to make the memory, the remembrance of it, to make me remember, to make you remember, right? Do I love ... enough? Do I love myself enough, right? To have the discipline to care, nurture, be compassionate, have healthy boundaries? Or do I love the drama and the stories more? Do I need that charge because I'm used to it? I grew up in that, right? Something to contemplate. Let me know in the chat. So when we are dealing with difficulties, particularly difficult people, who's dealing with difficult person or people at the moment? It could even be yourself, right? I'll give you a couple of practical points, okay? Stay with the facts. Stay with the facts. Oh, my camera just did something because I did a hand gesture. It's popped up. It works by hand gestures. All right. Stay with the facts. Keep to essential detail. Keep to the essential details. Only say what's needed. Right? Be polite, whatever that means to you. Don't expect more than what you see. Don't expect more than what you see. You can put agreements in writing. So I'm going to say, don't trust or distrust. And that might be like, oh, what comes up for you when I say don't trust or distrust? Simply observe. Simply observe what is. Right? So what are the facts? Stay with the facts. Keep to the essential details. Right? Don't expect more than what you see. Right? Expectation. Put agreements in writing if need be. Don't trust or distrust. Simply observe and be curious. So that's communication and trust. don't trust or distrust, simply observe. And in your communication, boom, there's a, but we don't. We want to tell a story. We want to get into it. So let's shift it slightly to self-esteem, or that internal conversation, right? So your self-esteem comes from the conversation you have with yourself on the inside. And many of us, humans, bring others into their internal dialogue, right? Parents, spouse, boss, who, add. Who do you bring in? Who are the voices? And see, you may not even be conscious of that. And I've taught in the past about how we can bring in parts work, how we bring in this aspect of the abuser, right? Whether that's a parent or whatnot. And there's a part of us that takes that on, and we're unconscious of it. So there's work that we can do together to identify that. I'm not going to go any deeper for that today, but you can always work with me if you want to look at that, right? Because it's finding where these dialogues are coming from that are entering into your internal dialogue, constantly justifying and defending themselves from within. It's a different within. It's a different part of you. You have many, many parts, okay? You have many, many parts. So it's just bringing awareness, being curious about, oh, what happens when I get triggered, or when, things start to spiral or flow or feel uncomfortable. Right? What's going on? Is the discomfort because I'm stepping into my greatness? Or not? So establish within yourself that God is in me. I am of God. I am of God. I am the spark thrown forward. God is okay. I am okay. And this becomes this baseline. Right? That you're okay. God is in me. I am of God. God is okay. I am okay. Right? So this, I'm going to use the word balance today, right? True balance comes from conscious choice. We can choose. Did you know that you have choice? Did you know that you have choice? So make everything you do a choice, not an obligation. You accept the consequences of your choices without complaints. Say that again. Accept the consequences of your choice without complaints. Changing language from I have to I choose to. And a big one is when you say no, mean no. And when you say yes, mean yes. So we can stop creating the false separation between life and meditation, right? Stopping this separation between life as meditation. So we make life itself a meditation. So when the challenge comes, breathe. Curious, you're observing. Make life your meditation. Choose everything consciously, breath by breath, word by word. And when you volunteer for something, fully embrace it. One of my teachers, Shiv, he was talking about at the ashram he runs, there's jobs to do there, right? Service, volunteering. And you get put on different lists. And, the people that were on the toilet cleaning list weren't so happy about it. When the people that were on the gardening list were off going to do the gardening, one of the people that was on the toilet cleaning list was thinking, oh, I wish I was on the gardening list. Right? When you volunteer for something, fully embrace it. That becomes your meditation. That's life in meditation. The parts that you dislike, because they're all part of, creating the world that we live in. And there's a lot of it that you do love and like and choose, right? So we're combining enjoyment with spiritual practice. This combines it. The choosing. So it is a practice, right? When you're having to do the really, difficult or tough jobs for you, or the ones that make you dry reach, you still got to do it, or you don't, you're choosing to. I have many a story, but I'll leave it at that for that piece. Okay. Life as meditation. All right, let's go to addiction and temptation. Understanding addiction. Addiction really is endless wanting. Right? Endless wanting. I want more. I want. It's never enough. It's never enough. It wears off. You want more. Some of you, it's the dopamine hit. You just need a little argument or a little something new, or go and spend some money. And some of you, it could be more serious, but some of that is serious. But how it impacts your life, right? So this infinite desire, and it's actually longing for the infinite, right? And there's research. I used to teach this probably 15 years ago around the spark of light in the brain. And when we can create that through spiritual technology, the addictions diminish. Okay? Because it is this longing for the infinite, but we try to satisfy it externally. Sounds simple in that little sentence, right? Because everything we're sharing is simple. It's the discipline or the choice and the carrying it out to create life as meditation that is a challenge for many. Okay. So hold on to yourself. Don't lose yourself when going out into the world. Easier said than done, right? This is why the number one problem or challenge is remembering or forgetting. Either way you look at it, okay? Hold on to yourself. Don't lose yourself as you go into the world. Breathe consciously. Okay? Breathe in the world, breathe out, and return to yourself. Go to the heart. Go to the heart. Not to the hungry animal in the belly that wants more. Remember, mineral, plant, animal, human. If you drop, you're going into the animal aspects, the wanting more, the devouring, and not being satiated, not being full, not being able to receive, right? And practice daily spiritual discipline. So whether that be a mantra, a prayer, or some other healthy habit, a life-giving habit, not a life-taking habit. Okay. So look at what you do in the world and just for yourselves, go, how much life does this bring me? Or does it actually take from my life little by little? Right? It may be over years. Is it life-giving or life-depleting? Because that's the difference between karma and dharma. Okay. So there's not really a shortcut path, but I'm going to say there's two paths inward. One's a psychological path where you analyze the story to heal trauma. It takes many years. This is why, if you're interested in sensory motor and the ascend work that we do, right, which I was sharing with some of the students, ascend is awakening spiritual consciousness and embodied neurodevelopment, right? But we actually start backwards. We start with creating the foundation, creating the nervous system and the physical health and wellness of your body as the container, to then be able to move on to the embodiment of your spiritual practices and development and consciousness, right? Awakening, ascension, descension, soul embodiment. So if you're struggling with any part of that, you can contact and we can see what we have to support you, right? So we have the psychological path, we have the devotional path, direct love and prayer to the divine within. The shortcut. There are many, many ways of doing that. And, if you go back over the videos we've done, there are teachings, little short, practical, mystical teachings that you can bring into your everyday life to start creating your life as a meditation. You could simply choose a devotional practice. So it could be chanting a mantra with love, or telling everything to the divine, whatever that is for you. Right? Because going back to the beginning, where we are wanting to say more than we need to, right? Because there's charge there. We're wanting to discharge what we're feeling. But we can process some of that ourselves if we're not able to process it with the people around us. We can journal, we can write, we can walk, we can talk to the trees, the animals, to the beloved, to a friend, to ourselves. Right? So, mantras, prayers, a meditation practice, a saying, seek first the kingdom is one. Holy wisdom, she rests in me. Right? She rests in me. There are numerous ways to bring yourself back. As you look out into the world, soul aspect is going out through all of your senses, all the holes, out into the world. And as you breathe in, right, you're bringing it back, stay here. So even though you're viewing out into the world and your energy is going out into the world, you're reminding yourself to stay in the cup of the heart, right? The cup of the heart. So your heart is like a cup that God, the beloved, and all positive forces are constantly filling with love and energy, your essence. But we look for this fullness in where? In shops, online, from neighbors, from entertainment. You maybe think about where you might do that when you're not, in the cup of the heart. Where are you? What's going around in your head? And it's okay. How can you remember the cup of the heart, the chalice? So we're looking everywhere except where it actually is. So your mind creates its own shadow over you. We've taken away the veil. So your own mind creates a shadow over you. It's judging. It's lowering your self-esteem. And only you can remove that veil. And how you do that is every day. And this is my spiritual name, Simran Ishnan. Okay? Cleaning, right? The karmas for the remembrance of God. That's what Simran Ishnan means. Clearing, Ishnan. Cleansing, water therapy, cold water therapy, whatnot. I'm not saying you have to do that. Just saying it's the clearing away the negative mental chatter. Feeling the space that opens. Feel it open up. Okay. Experience the wind of love on your face. And remember that this is my own love, loving me. This is my own love, loving me. This is my own love, loving me. Say it. Come to the chalice. This is my own love, loving me. You don't need others to do that. Right? In fact, this is a must every day, remembering. Clearing the negative chatter. There are multiple ways you can do that. Any of the short meditations and activations that I've taught you over time, or simply doing a mantra, a prayer, or you can ask and I'll share something with you. We may do something in a moment, we'll see. Clearing away, cleansing, clearing. Those of you that are doing the sunrise, I'll talk about that in more depth. Right? These practices. Feel the space that opens up, or just simply coming to the Sacred Heart. So you could do that right now. So the Sacred Heart is slightly off to the left of the physical heart. and just making connection with that space. What does it feel like? Introducing yourself to that aspect of yourself, right? Your energy anatomy, the sacred heart. Feel the space that opens up. Experience the wind of love on your face. So just feeling. What's the sensations? And remembering that that is your own love loving you. Right? So this could be your mantra. This is my own love loving me. This is my own love loving me. So every morning, you can challenge yourself to remember what you want to remember. What do you want to remember? What do you love? Remember at the beginning, we talked about love. When you love something, right, more than the extrapolations out there, you will remember. So if there's a gap there, what's going on? And if you want to find out, connect with us. We've just started the Ascend program, and you can join that. You can still join that. We communicate throughout the week. Okay. So every morning you're challenging yourself to remember what you want to remember. You get a choice. Make the choice and actions according to what you want to remember, not just allowing any old energy cycle to just bombard you as you wake up. What do you want to remember? It's a choice. So throughout the day, return to conscious breathing and awareness. And you can start just with small amounts of time. Or you could set an alarm. We did that a few months ago. Went through, you can set an alarm. Or every time you go to, if there is a habit of going to the fridge or turning on the kettle or stopping at a red light or whatever, that's your reminder to remember what you choose to remember. It's a choice. So what are you choosing to remember? Place an intention. Choosing to remember that love, that chalice in the heart, that this is my own love loving me. When you feel empty, you are not empty. Okay. And you can use mantra or prayer as a direct communication with the divine within. Okay? Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Or seek first the kingdom of heaven. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. Oh, holy wisdom, she rests in me. Holy wisdom, she rests in me. Holy wisdom, she rests in me. We'll drop into the sacred heart and just be with that space of divine heart, not physical heart. Right? So how are you doing? How are you doing? All right, so we start wrapping up. So the true human experience is not seeking approval from others, is not comparing yourself to others, or trying to be right or superior to others. or living in shame or guilt. It feels like it sometimes, doesn't it? The true human experience is remembering yourself within yourself. The true human experience is experiencing your connection to the divine within. The true human experience is living from conscious choice. True human experience is serving from the overflow of fullness, of inner fullness, when that cup, the chalice, overflows. I say, I'm serving from the saucer. Right? Because when I was a trauma specialist and social worker and whatnot, I tended to serve from what was in the cup, which fairly regularly meant I was running on empty, because there were so many people wanting, needing, drinking from my cup. And I allowed it because I wanted to help. I wanted to serve. There came a time when I made it my boundary, right, to serve from the overflow of inner fullness, the saucer that catches the overflow of the chalice of the heart, the abundance, the inner fullness. So sip away, my friend, sip away. Okay. Right? And it's when we realize this truth, you bring this awareness to all your relationships, all your activities. You're not depleting yourself. You're no longer depleting yourself. Let me tell you, I teach from direct experience. I have burnt out 3 times when I was younger, right? Much younger, 30 years ago. I learned because nobody taught me. All the social workers and psychologists in the areas that I was working were burning out. The Indigenous advocates, I was the only one standing at one time because of the stress and the constant need in the community. And something had to change. We have to experience our own love loving us, the love that's loving us. So when we can do that, it flows and overflows into all our relationships. But it starts with us. So we don't need to defend or justify different forms of entertainment or different forms of relationship. You simply live from your authentic center, your Satnam, your true identity, and allow that cup to overflow into your life. Your life becomes your meditation. There's nothing you have to do, because number one, soul into body incarnation is number one. I exist. I exist. But I mean, that mantra alone is a very powerful mantra, and it can take some time before you can just be with your existence. So maybe try that. I exist. Right? We do have a song, and it is the teaching. I exist in time. I exist in time, I exist in space. I'm becoming conscious. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Which equals 10. which is the whole human experience. But start with the one, I exist. So daily practices may be a morning intention. What do I want to remember today? So I'm just rehashing so you can integrate. What do I want to remember today? Conscious breathing, returning to yourself with each exhale. So if you inhale and your consciousness or your aspects go out into the world, into the shops, into the entertainment, into the distractions, as you breathe in, as you breathe out, stay here at the cup, at your center. So you could still be out in the world, experiencing the world, but you're not losing yourself in the world or in others. Very powerful practice. Internal dialogue, speak with the divine within rather than external validation. Okay? And that's a practice because it's really difficult for some of us. We just want to share and overshare or be heard. If that's your attachment wound or injury, right? This is why, you don't have to know it, but if you do, it helps you with your behavior. Because the majority of us have attachment injuries, some description. Okay. So that could include journaling, but speaking with the divine, prayer, or just sitting quietly, speaking. Evening reflection could be, how did I remember? How did I remember today? How did I forget? How did I remember? Did I remember? How did I forget? Did I forget? And what will I choose tomorrow? What will I choose tomorrow? So that could be the evening reflection. So in the morning, what do I want to remember today? Consciously breathing throughout the day, internal dialogue with the divine. And in the evening, did I forget? Did I remember? How did I remember? What will I choose tomorrow? So remember, in reality, there is no problem. Problems exist in stories. There is no problem. The problems exist in the stories. So when you get to the real place of your real self, everything becomes much more simpler than we think. So, human being, I would say human-aring, right? Human-aring. So to end, we're pretty much on time. So to end, remembering the kingdom of heaven is within you, or the divine mother rests in you, or the chalice is filling with love. Your heart is a fountain with a cork in it, and you are the one who gets to remove the cork. Then you can flow and flow and flow, and the love of your own spirit. So stop looking out there. Stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to be who you are. Go within, my friends. Go within and find the divine that's been waiting there all along. So let's just take a moment in silence. Sit together for a moment in the silence of our hearts, where God hears us most clearly. Most clearly. Okay. So we'll do a gong. I'm just going to sit for a moment. And integrate the energy of this transmission, remembering the self. Just allowing that remembrance, choosing what you would like to remember, placing that intention and checking at the end of the day, how did you go? Okay, simple. I am, we are, I am. Till we meet again, much love. And if you got something out of this, you can donate through the donation code there, or go to unconditionallove.us, and or just go there and have a look. And if you would like to participate in the Ascend program, it's over 10 months. You still can. And if you would like to go deeper into the teachings, we do have the Tuesday inner circle and the occasional, generally weekly, but we do have lives that you can ask questions, and we can go into some deeper aspects of the practices. So let me know how you went, what you received, and breathing in, knowing that you're going out. As you exhale, stay here. You stay here. Spirit, stay here. Spirit, stay here. Okay. Much love.